Hey, what's up, guys? It's Richie Riggs. All right, so little bit different video here. I got a little bit of a different setup. I thought this might be a little bit better with the microphone. I think this will work out pretty good. Yeah, sorry no videos last week. I've been grinding over here. We're turning the garage into a guest house. It's huge. It's already insulated and all that, so big projects going on there. A lot of stuff happening. I know there's a lot of Computex news, but honestly, none of it was really that interesting to me anyways, so now we're here. Time for some fresh Richie Riggs. All right, so what's on my mind? What do you think's on my mind? Well, what's on my mind, what I really want to get out there is, what are you doing with your computer? Like, this video is all about what perspective you should have. What are you getting wrong when it comes to building your computer? What are you doing wrong? What is everybody missing? What do I think are the biggest and values, really the biggest values that we have when we're looking at building a computer? What do we really want? And what do we think we want? And all that stuff. So let's just dive right into it, right? So let's think about building a computer. A lot of people just want to focus on their processor performance and things like that, what graphics card, and it's not that simple. Honestly, every component that goes into the computer all plays a key factor. So when you think about your computer, what are you getting wrong? What are you getting wrong? It's your monitor. Honestly, it's probably your monitor. Your monitor is the one thing that you actually interact with at the end of the pipeline. All your computer's there is to spit out an image to your monitor. And if you think about it, if you've got a junky little monitor over here just kind of like giving you 70%, and you've got a sick computer giving you really clean, beautiful images, and you're not taking advantage of all those, you're losing out on a huge bit of the experience. Now, that gets into a whole mess of complications because there's so many different panel technologies, there's so many different hype around resolution, frame rate, OLED. What really matters, honestly, at the end of the day? A lot of people just don't know. They just think, okay, whatever, I got 1080p monitor, I'm good. Well, it's not good. In fact, it's very eye-opening when you realize that over time, we've kind of grown into a new era when it comes to monitor technologies and things like that. So in the past, it was very simple. Basically, we were just looking at what resolution do we have, and that was about it, because it was just like we had CRTs and there was some differences there, and obviously there's a lot of people who are hype about CRTs, but after we moved out of CRT land, we were just looking at HD. It was all just about HD. So we had 720p, and then we had 1080p, and for the longest time, honestly, we were just kind of sitting at 60 FPS. That's all they could deliver with IPS technology. And we did get 1440p kind of in the middle there, and that was a big jump. I mean, they had 1440p back in like 2003, and that's what people are gaming on now. When that first came out, that was insane. I paid to get a monitor shipped in from overseas. It was like $300, but we had 1440p, and it was a little bit of a challenge to run, but it was insane. And so finally we get 4K monitors coming around a little bit later, and they're still running IPS, and that's where things got really screwed up. Because at 27 inches, or even at 31, 32 inches, 4K just doesn't look any better than 1440. It's like imperceptible. I've gotten so many people to look at it. I've looked at it myself. It's clear that at 27 inches and at 31 inches, a little bit different. You can maybe make out the difference at 31 inches, but realistically, no benefit. And I was shell-shocked because I was so hyped for 4K. I'd been pushing. I always wanted the highest resolution, but no. 4K killed it. And 4K on its own is still sick. It's just, again, about the screen size and the pixels per inch that you can perceive at a particular distance, right? So if you put your monitor 3 feet away, I think it was like, I can get the numbers exactly here, but it's something like 110 DPI or PPI is what you can really perceive at that distance as a perfectly clear image for someone with perfect vision, right? So keeping in mind the size of your monitor along with the resolution is a huge deal in terms of getting a better experience out of your monitor. I mean, you really need to take that size into consideration, but that's kind of a separate issue that I think a lot of people either generally understand or don't care about that much. What people don't really understand is that the pixel switching time is almost just as important as the hertz of your screen, the FPS that you're getting. Because on these IPS panels, and I almost feel like it was a scam. Ever since the beginning, these IPS monitors, the technology, they really can only switch so fast. So as they made these new monitors that can push higher and higher frame rates, realistically what's happening there is they're putting better chips in there that can handle all the data throughput and send it to the screen. But realistically, those screens, I don't think they ever got better. You get 144 hertz or a 240 hertz monitor that's IPS, and it doesn't look good. It just doesn't. I tried. I mean, it's better than playing on 60 hertz in some way, but the smearing, you get used to it, but once you get a OLED monitor and see that the pixel response time is like more important than those frame rates, you can run 175 FPS, no problem, and look better than an IPS running 240, 300, 360, and you're just sitting there like, what have I been doing? Who screwed me? Why have I wasted my money on these older technologies and paying out the ass to get a computer that can deliver all these extra frames when I could have just bought an OLED monitor that would have allowed me to get better performance out of my computer or spend less on my computer and have a better experience. Not to mention the colors. The colors are out of this world, and the brightness, the HDR. I mean, everything else almost doesn't matter. You could run a 3060, get a crummy computer, and hook it up to a QD OLED and feel better than the guy with the 4090. It's that simple. It's just that simple. It's that powerful. It's that transformative of an experience, whether it's just the colors or the pixel response time. Everything that goes into it is literally a huge leap forward in the experience. So I think a lot of you might be missing that your monitor is really the key ingredient in your setup these days. Because you can get a pretty sick computer pretty easily. In fact, up until just recently, we were all struggling to get pretty good performance out of our computers simply because the technology had not developed fast enough. We sat around with essentially the 1080 as the king in performance for like 7 years, and then finally they bless us with the 30 series, and you've got a 3060 that's whooping up on a 1080. It's $200 to get a 3060, and we lived with that. Every game that exists right now can pretty much be played enjoyably on that kind of graphics card. So stop sweating on the hardware. You don't need, you're going to go build a new computer. Of course, you want to make the best decision for your money when buying new. But, we are in a whole other league of performance that we've never seen before. It jumped big time in the last couple years. And I think a lot of people are missing that you can get older parts that still kick. You don't need the newest parts. You're going to get a lot of performance and a lot of enjoyability out of your computer. But if you're sitting playing on your same crummy old monitor, it's not going to feel like you got a new computer in a lot of ways. But you still will obviously get your smoother experience, if you're going from an older computer to a new computer. But if you're getting a computer for the first time, definitely spend the money to get a computer that'll last you. But don't freak out that your computer's out of date. If you've got a computer already, you probably need to upgrade your monitor. You probably just need to upgrade your monitor. And I'll kind of close this out with my thoughts about hardware, because we can go through every rabbit hole on which part's exactly right for your computer. Doesn't really matter that much. Get a decent processor that you can afford, a relatively modern one. They blow away everything we had from the last 10 years. Literally even just 5 years ago, 3 years ago. If you get anything relatively modern, it's going to blow that away. You're blowing away your Xbox. You're blowing away your PlayStation. Same thing with the graphics card. You get something relatively new, you're blowing it all away. You're blowing all that old hardware away, and you're entering the new echelon of hardware performance, of gaming performance, of your gaming experience. But if you're spending all your money on your computer and you haven't thought about your monitor, you're screwing up. Time to get a Quantum Dot OLED. I'll show you exactly which one to get, because again, I can go deep into all of this, but I don't want to make this video super long and crazy or anything like that. But realistically, in my opinion, you need to stop buying anything that's not just a Quantum Dot OLED or anything newer than that. All the old technology, you're literally just going back a decade buying an old screen. Whatever you have right now is good enough for now. Save up your money or wait until the Quantum Dot OLEDs come down. That's all you got to do. Honestly, just don't even think about any other monitor, because this experience with the Quantum Dot OLED is transformative. It is literally a quantum leap into the future. Don't screw up. All right. So yeah, this has been my video. I'm hoping to get a few more out this week if we've got some time. I'm doing a lot of work on the whole renovations and whatnot. But again, I'm always available if you need a computer, any assistance building a computer, you want any advice, some parts or anything like that. I'll put your computer together, sell you a computer. These videos are sponsored by me and my computer building business, so I'd appreciate anything that you can throw my way that way. Again, throw a like on the video. Please give me a subscribe. I really need those subscribers to go up right now. I'm doing my best to keep these videos coming out. I want to give you better, more quality content. I'm not just focused on pushing out a video every single day. I feel like that was bringing me down a little bit. So I want to stick to more of these more passionate pieces and kind of get a new formula going for the future. So hopefully we can see some improvement. These videos mean a lot to me, and so do you. So thanks again for watching. I'll catch you later. Peace.